right, we'll see what happens. We should be back live. Robert, what do you see?
Same video. Hey, yo.
So we're back on the same link?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to us. We are, of course...
Welcome back to
us. We are, of course, in the studio and having some technical difficulties. I really like you, Candy. I like... makes you think of the SNL skit. Sweaty balls.
Sweaty balls.
Yeah, sweaty balls. Yeah.
Cynthia says woot woot.
Again.
Take
with
two.
the woot,
Yeah.
huh? Take two.
All right, we're going to take one. There's only one
she's only
take
accepting
on the
woot.
Okay, before someone said the volume needed to be up, so I'm going to crank it up just a tad on the console side.
Crank that.
Maybe that'll help just a wee bit. See if that helps with the volume. See how that sounds. All right, so let's
This studio view is pretty cool.
The studio view?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the whole thing of us. Yeah, it is pretty cool.
We got some goods, and then we got can we get a bit more volume? Then a couple of sounds good to me.
Okay, so maybe the can we get a bit more? Maybe you need to turn it up on your end a little bit.
Bruce said you're gonna like it, so.
Whoa, that's
Bruce
gonna be too high. That's gonna be peaking. You all right?
Sweet.
How high?
Here we go. Much better. It helped. Okay, we're good.
All right, I think we're good.
Nice.
So we should be good in the studio. I've got the speak pipe pumped up, ready to go.
Speed pike.
What did I say?
You said it right.
Oh, okay. I have a headache, so we're good.
Oh, dang it, man.
Sweet. I had one this morning.
Is it from too much editing?
No, too much meeting.
Oh,
Talking.
yeah. You guys did meet for a long time. You met for a longer time.
Mm-hmm. All morning.
Yeah, we went to about 11, and then I had a phone call, someone to talk to until
10. You left at 10,
12.
I thought.
Right, but we had our
then you had a
marketing.
meeting
Yeah, we had a
until
marketing
11,
meeting. Talking
I
about
had
marketing and
we
stuff.
We had contracts about my multi-million-dollar contract with DD.
Right.
Expanding it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I had my tab still open from the meeting, and I saw you guys typing stuff out from Junior Worlds.
Yeah.
And I flipped over to that tab in the other meeting. All right, so we're going to start out with this episode, and then we're going to get into our questions. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Ready?
Uh-huh.
This gentleman suggests drinking some of that old hot dog water. It'll fix that headache, Bobby. That's what he said.
Hot dog water?
I've never heard that.
His name is W.W. Wub.
Oh, I thought you were going to say www.hotdogwater.com.
Hot dog water?
Dude, what if that was a real advertisement for this?
Is hot dog water a real thing?
I don't. I
Yeah,
mean,
of course
I know
it's a real thing.
I know it's a real thing, but like, would you ever drink
chocolate
it?
starfish
Can you
and
hear
the hot dog
the-
flavored water.
I think it's coming out of the monitor. Hold on.
What is?
Sound.
Sound.
Tokyo One Disc Golfer says, "I love marketing meetings." So. Is it live on one of the computers over there?
Is it live on yours?
Is your volume all the way down?
My volume's muted. Yeah.
Oh, I bet you it's maybe coming out of the iPad. Let's see if that will help it.
Sweet.
iPad. Is that your new one?
No. Did you order yours yet?
No. I looked at the prices and I'm scared.
They're not cheap.
They're not
They have a
cheap.
new iPad?
No, I just
Relatively new, but he wants a new one.
I just haven't had one.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to have one for my travel.
Yeah.
Nice to have like on site too when I go out to courses and I don't know.
To be able to drop stuff. Did you have one with cellular, or was it just Wi-Fi?
I've never had
Never
one.
had one.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I've never ever.
So this would be a new thing.
It would
Okay.
be, and I think I would just get the Wi-Fi one and just have maps downloaded on it.
Mhm.
I don't think I need the one with cellular. I can
think
use
that's
my
the
phone
play.
for that.
Yep.
Right. In a pinch, you can just
I can go to
connect
Wi-Fi
it to
on
your
my
phone.
phone.
hotspot,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, hotspot. Yeah.
Yeah, I like my iPad. I didn't think I
Yours
had
is-
one for a while, and then I got rid of it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, man, this is helpful, and I've used it quite a bit since.
Yeah.
I had one of the first ones.
That's what I had early.
I gave that to my grandson.
Mm-hmm.
I got an iPad mini,
Mini.
and that was kind of cool. I noticed I would use that in bed when I read and stuff.
Is it pretty small?
Mm-hmm.
It's small, but now that I've got the iPhone Plus,
Yeah.
the Mini feels kind of silly. So now I have an iPad Air, but it's like when the first Air came out, so it's not too
See, I
old.
think
I
I want
think
an
that's-
iPad Pro is what I want.
One of the bigger ones.
I think I would
well,
go for
there's
the
2
10 and a
sizes in the
half,
Pro, yeah.
10.5 inch. I think would be plenty. So how big
Yeah.
is that screen right there?
I
Is
think
that
this is
12?
a 13,
13.
if I remember correctly.
And then how big is that? Is that the 10.5?
This is the 9.7,
Okay, so
That's-
it'd be a little bigger.
that's
than
what
that.
I have.
just a tad bigger than this,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that'd be fine.
Yeah.
They're a little cheaper too. Than
I mean, I've been
the
at
12s.
Best
or-
Buy and mess with the 12 point. It's not. You're like, wow. But I
Yeah.
mean, after a while, it'd be like, do I need this much?
Right.
You know, you're not going to be drawing or
True.
architecting or.
I might be drawing on
Architecting.
maps and architecting on courses.
That's true. Maybe you need the 12 and a half.
Man,
Is architecting a word?
Mm-hmm.
it is
Cool.
now.
I like it.
It is the art of techting.
Course architecting.
It's the art of techting.
I like that.
It is the art of techting.
I'm a professional
I'm-
techting artist.
And
right.
architectic.
Art of technicer. All right, let's get started with the episode.
All right. Enough jibba jabba.
But we're having so much fun.
I know. Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze. I with me Eric, the architect, McCabe,
Yes.
Architecture.
Architect.
and Robert. Do you wish you were from Paris, McCall?
Do I wish I was from Paris?
Didn't they win the World Cup?
Oh yeah. Whatever.
I mean, you're a big soccer fan.
I do love soccer.
Football.
I do love soccer. It's hard for me to be as interested in this one because the U.S. wasn't in it. Not like we were going to win anyway because our team was atrocious.
Right.
But
True.
it was a cool final, high scoring.
How cool was it though for a good friend of mine, John Baldwin, who was in Croatia this
That's
whole time
sick.
watching?
Yeah.
I mean, and just like became a fan.
Right.
Like that's so cool. Get
And it's a
invested in it that
Cinderella
way.
story
It was-
for them.
And we kind of had a small flavor of that, taste of that a little bit in
Yeah.
Sweden.
Yeah, one of the when it was Sweden, England, I
Yep.
think we went downtown.
Oh, yeah.
and they had that one
That
of
was
those
cool.
big screens down by the river or
Yeah.
water or whatever it was down there, and we
Fan.
watched with a bunch of Swedish people.
Granted, it kind of stunk because by the time we got there, it was already 2-0, and
Yeah,
Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes
yeah, it
left,
was
something
kind
like
of
that.
yeah,
kind of bummer for everybody, but it was still a good time. It was a cool experience.
Now, on Reddit, I've seen some pictures of downtown Paris where people were celebrating. They showed it during the day, and there was, of course, a sea of people.
right.
And I can't remember. They didn't say what street it was, but it was a huge.
Sixth,
Oh yeah, 6th in Paris.
sixth in Paris.
But it was like, gosh, it had to have been like a half mile long, just open road, open whatever in the middle of buildings, and there was people everywhere cheering. And then later on that night, there was another picture, same place. It was at night, but everybody had
Like candles, or
something because it was all lit up, and it was just
That's cool.
It was just a huge celebration, so that was pretty cool. All right, so what else? Okay, guys, so obviously we are back from Europe. We had our 2-week European tour. We went to Finland first, and then we did some store tours at some Power Grip. We went to 3 different Power Grip stores, and we had, of course, the world champions, Paige Pierce, Ricky Wysocki, and Eric McCabe were there. Myself, Robert McCall, and Jeremy Rusko were there to kind of do a meet and greet and check out the disc golf scene in Finland. And you guys in Finland, you guys are awesome. You guys love your disc golf.
That was super cool.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, it really was.
So we had a fun time there, and then we did some. They called them Champ versus Champ challenges. Where Paige and
Champ
Ricky,
challenges.
what did I say? Okay.
You said versus.
I'm
but
sorry,
it's
just Champ
champ.
Challenge, where Paige and Ricky played in these different challenges at these different courses. I'm going to refer to Robert. What were the name of the courses?
Oh, I don't remember the names of the courses. I just remember
What
the
town
city
were? Yeah,
names.
what cities were?
So we flew into Helsinki, and the Duni was
we?
It was near Helsinki, and I think it was Sibu or Sipu. Sipu.
Sipu. 'cause
And
it
then
was
where
Seppo
we
and
were,
Sipu.
that's right, where we were staying was called Sibe. It was weird. But anyway, from there we went on to
not where we stayed, but the name of the town. Is that what you're saying?
no, Sipu was the name of the town.
Okay.
the flat where
it
we
just
stayed
sounded
was-
like you were saying the place
Sorry.
that we stayed was weird.
No. That place was awesome.
Then
Sorry,
maybe not.
the,
Maybe
name,
not,
the
but-
names of the places were really
Yes,
similar
yes,
to
there you
us.
go.
There it is. The
There
place
you
where
go.
we stayed was awesome.
Yeah, it was
Super
great.
cool. We went from there to Tempura, Tampere.
Tampere.
Tempura, shrimp.
That's right. And then the next one was Jyväskylä, and then to Kuopio, and then up to Oulu, and then we went over to Skellefteå.
Yes. So then after the time we spent in Finland, we went over to Sweden to take part in the Skellefteå Open. And, of course, hang out with Thomas and David and Johannes and all them from. And we had meetings, and we had disc golf play, and we had a good time. So overall, it was fantastic. We loved the experience. It was tiring. It was nonstop. Driving, seeing people at the store, driving, playing an event, driving, staying in a hotel, driving, store, driving.
Yeah,
so
nonstop is really accurate too.
Yeah.
You know, we had a bunch of people be like, "Man, I bet you guys just had so much fun over there." And yeah, it was really fun, but it was just thing after thing after thing. Like it was work 24/7.
It was. We played some pretty fun courses though.
We did. It was great.
I was not expecting that. You know, you never know what to expect when you're just pulling into a town to do one of the champ challenges and just play the round of disc golf on a course blind, and it was pretty good courses.
Yeah, I don't think we played one that I was like, this is just okay. Like most of them were pretty fun.
Yeah,
a couple of them were really, really good.
Yeah, the one on the that was at the ski place.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So then we made the long trip back, and we were here at 2:30 in the morning, I believe it was.
Yeah, that's right. And that was on Tuesday morning.
2:30
a.m.
It was the longest Monday of my life.
Yes. Yeah, our travel time from the start of our first flight to getting to Emporia was 26 hours.
Yeah. We basically got up at 11 p.m. Sunday night.
And I remember you guys were talking about when we were in Stockholm to go play some disc golf. And I think was it Stockholm? Yeah,
it was Stockholm. We were going to try and go play Järva.
Yeah.
Which I don't think we would have had time anyway with all that crazy transportation.
Yeah, it took us forever to get through customs and all that stuff.
But even then, I was like, you guys still want to go play? We're like, no.
I saw a couple pictures that were on my time hop from playing Järva this time of year, like 4 years ago or something like that. I'm like, man, I really wish we did go.
It would have been really cool.
It'd have been cool for you to see it.
Definitely.
Man, I love that place.
So then we hopped from Tuesday 2:30 in the morning, and then by about 6 or 7 in the morning, it was time for Junior Worlds.
Yep, just like that. In case you were wanting some rest, forget you. You won't be getting it.
So yeah, full force into Junior Worlds. We had 195, 198 junior competitors come out to play Junior Worlds on all the different courses we have out here. It was a wonderful time. I mean, yes, I was tired. I was exhausted. I was trying to catch up from the time difference. But I tell you what, when I got out there and I saw them kids throwing, it woke me up. It made me say, yes, this is why this is a good thing that's happening, and this is a reason to stay awake and get some stuff done. And I wanted to make sure we got good coverage of those kids that were out here. And I think overall it ended up being a very successful event.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, we've done GBO a lot. I've been involved in a few GBOs, but this was probably my favorite event that we'll do this year. Just getting to see the young players just enjoying themselves, having a great time, competing. And some of them are really, really good. A lot of them are super duper good.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me want to try and get as many wins or good finishes as I can before they get old enough.
Before they're competing against
exactly.
you. Yeah. I saw it was funny. Lupe made a post, and then Smitty commented on it. I think it was about his win on Sunday at that other tournament. Smitty commented on it, said, will you put out a list of his tournaments that he's going to so I can go to different ones?
Yeah, right.
I don't blame you, dude.
I don't either, man. Kid's good.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys.
What's up, man?
That was a weird noise coming from my drinking cup. My disc golf answering drinking cup, by the way, there.
Oh, wow. Are those available for purchase?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Stickers.
Well, the stickers, no. The stickers, I'll have to give the stickers up. The thermos cup you can get at Walmart. So.
Oh, okay.
And there's no endorsement there.
So a subsidiary of Dynamic Discs.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
right.
So anyway, Junior Worlds were fantastic, and I get to give my hats off to my team. Anthony and Danny did a great job putting some video out there, some coverage out there. So make sure you, if you're subscribed to us, that you for sure watch the video coverage that was put out there. It's amazing stuff.
Yeah, that was really incredible. Just all of the all the coverage, all the kids killing it. It was awesome.
Yeah. So
it was nice to take a break after that, but during the time, pretty.
All right. So what do you say we get to the questions before we make a few people mad? There was a guy, and I love calling people out when they leave comments on the show, about the show, because it's our show. We can do that. Some guy said he remembers when Disc Golf Answer Man was all about disc golf questions and not about our lives.
Ouch, man.
Ouch.
These are the days of our lives.
Right. Yeah, but these are the days of our lives. That reminds me. Yeah, you guys watch Scrubs at all? A little bit?
Yes.
Used to.
Where, what was the guy's name? Turk. He always says that. Now that's what I'm talking about. And he was arguing with somebody, and he said, "I hate when you always say that's what I'm talking about." And he was like, "But sometimes that is what I'm talking about."
But sometimes that's what I was talking about.
So anyway, all right. So we got a lot of speak pipe questions. So we will get to those for sure, guys. Remember, send in your questions to discgolfanswerman.com, and unless we're gone for 2 weeks in Europe, we will try to get through them as soon as possible. And hats off again to Anthony and Danny for filling in while we were gone. They did a terrific job filling in.
We listened to one of those live.
Yes, we
episodes.
did. We
listened
awesome.
driving.
Yeah, while we were driving, we listened to it. And I was correcting Danny on certain things, helping him out a little bit.
Dang.
On the technical parts of it. So
should have heard what he's saying behind your back.
Nothing. It was all the same
absolutely
things.
nothing.
It wasn't.
but you should have heard it. The first
Should have
question.
heard his tone.
First question comes from Matthew. Let's see what. Let me check the volumes here. Let's see what Matthew has to say.
Hello, Disc Golf Answer Man crew.
Sorry.
Bobby Cool.
I think he nailed it.
Daddy Slick Breeze, Robert McCall, and Eric McCabe. I have a couple questions. My first one is regarding to course design. I'm working with a couple friends to try to design a course at our local park. I think it'd be really cool. It's pretty hilly. Be more of an advanced course, longer holes, not necessarily for the beginner. We already have one of those. But it's going to be located in Waterloo, Illinois. And I just have a question. So who do you contact to try to help with a course? I'm currently making a map and trying to figure out where the holes are going to be. But I'm having some trouble with who do I contact to try to help with getting the concrete, getting the baskets. Do I go talk to the Parks Department? Just what's your guys' opinion on that? And my second one is regarding divisions. So I just played GBO at Rec, ended up winning that division. And my PDGA rating forces me now to play advanced, and I want to become better and play some more open tournaments. And my membership ends in December, and I'm thinking about next year just switching to open. So what are some advantages to switching to open instead of playing advanced for longer? Thanks, guys. Really love the show. Keep it real.
Well, to answer your first question, I guess I would have a question as well. If it's in a park, who have you been working with to get this course in? Is this just like you want to do it?
Is it a pipe dream? Or
yeah. I mean, or are you actually like, did the city say, yeah, let's do this, you guys can design the course? Or is it you're designing a course and then you're hoping to get approvals from everybody? For us, as far as we go, when we design courses, for instance, in Emporia, when we've done courses, we contact our Parks Department for tee pads, and they do all the work for us.
That's
here
awesome.
In Emporia. They do all the concrete work. Now, if it's kind of like the idea where the city hired you or said, yeah, let's put this disc golf course in the ground, and then I guess that's going to be pretty much on you to reach out to contractors, local concrete contractors, and get estimates and all that fun stuff to see about how much it's going to cost to put in tee pads and pour the concrete for the baskets. There's a lot of work involved, which is a great reason to hire someone to do it.
Yeah.
Because you want it done right the first time.
You do. You absolutely do. And from a city standpoint, they want it done right the first time because they're investing this money in hopes of people wanting to come play it. So I just stress that, if you guys are putting this course in, that you kind of, take the time to think about every little thing like safety. And another really important thing that a lot of people don't think about is flow. Course flow. Like, how many times have you played a course that, wow, that was a great hole, but man, now I got to turn around and walk backwards?
Or across fairways, or super duper long walks.
Yeah, super long walks, cross fairways, throwing across fairways. I mean, you just got to think of all variables before you actually put it in ground. I mean, so many times have I gone to design a course and thought, wow, this hole would be so amazing, but I can't do it because there's a playground here, or I need to squeeze in a couple more holes to get the full 9 or the full 18. So just make sure you take all counts considered when moving forward with it.
Definitely. Coming to the second question, he was asking about playing open, moving up and getting better. I'll tell you, just moving to open won't make you better by itself. You really have to learn from when you do. And one of the key benefits of that is you're going to be playing with better players. You're going to see more variety of shots. Well, maybe not more variety, but because you may see some crazy ones playing in recreational, intermediate, whatever. But you're going to see kind of opens your eyes to what can happen on a disc golf course, like what's possible on that course. I think it's great if you want to move up and do that. For signing up for the PDGA, though, you can sign up as an amateur until the year that you take cash. Once you take cash, then they force you to move up the next year. So if it was up to me, and I'm not trying to take money away from the PDGA or anything, but if you think you're going to play any amateur tournaments at all next year, sign up as an amateur. And then if you end up playing an open and cashing, then you can play the rest of that year in open, and that's no problem. But the following year, you'll have to sign up as a professional.
You'll save yourself a few bucks.
Yeah, like 20 or 25 or something.
That's a few.
Yeah.
All right, next one comes from Jake from St. Louis.
Oh, what's up, Jake? Been a while.
From Jake in a minute.
What's up, Disc Golf Answer crew? Jake from St. Louis, and I'm going to hijack your podcast real quick. I was listening to episode 223, and I heard my boy Justin from St. Louis had called in and was asking about some discs, and I wanted to give a quick shout out because I've been trying to find you and I can't. Justin, hey, look me up on Facebook, and I got some dynamic disc plastic for you to try out.
Nice.
And let's get around together sometime soon. Jake Harris. Later.
Sweet.
That's great.
Thanks, Jake.
So they're using us.
Disc Golf Answer Man, connecting people.
Man, disc
Just
golf.
making connections.
Dude,
man.
do you remember when the show was
like
about questions?
Questions and not connecting people?
It's like a dating service now. Next thing you
Easy,
know.
easy.
Next thing you know, not this time.
You never know.
Hey,
The next one comes from Mike.
Next one.
Yeah, my name's Mike. I was looking for no.
Single 31.
31.
All right, sorry. Here we go, Mike.
Hey, DGAM crew. Mike here from Sheridan, Colorado. Just got back into disc golf a few months ago, and it's safe to say I went a little overboard and have filled my bag with just about the entire DD offering. Needless to say, I now feel a little overwhelmed when it comes to disc and shot selection. I feel myself getting frustrated on the course, which is being reflected in my wonderful new nickname, the Bogey Beast. All right, question time. I know I won't be fixing anything on the course, so it's to the field for me. In my field work, would it be more beneficial to take a small selection of discs, say like 3, while working basic mechanics to learn those discs better, or focus solely on mechanics and just unload the entire bag into the field? Thanks, guys. Love the show. You'll be hearing from me more in the future. Mike.
Sweet. Thanks for calling in, Mike.
You'll be hearing from my attorney.
That's
what I thought he was going to say at the end.
If your answer is wrong,
You'll be hearing from my attorney.
All right, so there are a couple of schools of thought on this. There are some people that say you should have a disc that does everything for you so that you can just throw on the same angle all the time and then have the disc work. One of the issues with that is that say you lose one of those discs, you need a disc beat in to exactly that spot in order to maintain your game plan. The other school of thought is to minimize the number of molds that you have different stabilities within those molds, but then just learn that mold really, really well and become really comfortable with that. And I think that's what most top players do.
Yeah, cycle too.
Yeah, cycle them out. Once you have one that's a little too beat up to be your overstable one, now it's your straight one, you move what was your straight one over to your understable one and then just kind of cycle them through there. I'm of the opinion that you should limit your molds a little bit and make sure that you're really familiar with the ones that you have. Although I probably carry more mold types than most people, I won't put a mold in my bag if I'm not confident in what it can do for me.
True. I'm that way, but I believe you probably carry 3 more molds than me.
Yeah, it's not a ton. It's not like I have 20 different molds.
How many discs do you carry? Like what's
like
your
in the
average
like
number?
in the mid-20s.
Mid-20s.
Yeah. And it's usually like a couple defenders, a few Ballista Pros, Trespass. Criminal Felon, it kind of depends.
Yeah.
Couple Getaways, couple of Explorers.
Pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, we're similar. I carry a few extra.
We could we could play out of each other's bags.
And it'd be fine.
Yeah, and be fine, yeah.
So, yeah, get used to a few molds. That's going to help you to learn to manipulate flight. So even if you don't have the perfect disc for the situation, you can make one of your other discs the perfect disc for the situation.
Yep.
All right, next one comes from Cole.
What's up, guys? Quick one for Bobby. Is After Hours at the Warehouse ever going to make a comeback? Thanks.
There is no after hours anymore. We're just here working.
All 24 hours a day. Yeah. No.
We sleep here.
I was just thinking about that on the flight back from Sweden. That I really need to get back with the After Hours at the Warehouse because that was kind of a fun project. People really liked it. So I need to sit down and write a script it and script it out. Write a script it and
architect it.
And architect it.
You're going to do so much texting.
I know, so much texting, it's not even going to be like art. It's going to be crazy. So anyway, so yes, I want to do some more After Hours at the Warehouse. So, but thanks, Cole, for bringing that up because I know a lot of people enjoy that. If you don't know what it is, it was kind of like it was just between me and you. I would stay After Hours at the Warehouse. That's for the name of the show.
Clever name.
Very inventive.
And I would talk about things that are coming out, new discs, new molds, new products, and sometimes I would sneak around people's offices. Like one episode, I messed around with some bobbleheads on Eric's office, and now there's a new item I want to mess with.
Oh yeah, that's so crazy.
That's hilarious.
It took me a while to find it, but when I did,
right.
What I also liked about them was you did like little Easter eggs in a lot of them.
Yes.
Stuff that you didn't know, but you just kind of had it hidden somewhere in the videos.
Yeah,
which was
I think
pretty cool.
One time there was when we didn't have the junior recruit or the micro recruit or something like that. It was in the background, and I didn't say anything about it just to see if people would notice it. And I think maybe one or two people noticed or something like that. So
yeah, that's really cool.
So cool stuff like that. So yeah, I'll definitely get back with that. All right, next one comes from Ben G. Ben G.
Okay, yeah, great.
Hey guys, so my question is there a peak that somebody can throw distance-wise? So I have been playing maybe 7 to 10 years, somewhere in there, and I throw about 380 to 400, and if I really get on it, maybe 420, 430 tops. I know there's probably room to improve in my form. However, I've had people look at videos of me, and I feel pretty confident in how I'm throwing, and I think this just might be my peak as far as how far I can throw. You look at somebody like Eagle, and you can see he's doing a shorter reach back and coming through slower, not trying to go max distance, yet he still throws a 450-foot hyzer. So do you think based on people's physical makeup and just the speed of their muscles that some people are just able to throw farther and some people aren't if they had perfect form? Thanks so much.
Good question. I think there is a peak for some people. I really do.
I'd say for most.
Yeah, I would say almost all.
Yeah.
I mean, even these guys like Simon that are mashing drives 500, 600 feet at times, they do have a peak. Their peak is just much higher.
Yeah, I think so too. I think too, you can always improve your form. Nobody has perfect form. There are 0 people.
Correct.
There's always something that like Paul Macbeth could work on, that Eagle could work on, that Simon could work on, that would give them either better accuracy or better distance. But I think you hit the nail on the head when he said that there are physical limitations, right? For me, nobody's getting any younger, but I feel like I'm really, really not getting any younger. And
he's the youngest guy on this show.
Fair, true, but not in the office right now.
But he's really, really, really getting older faster.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, no,
by the second.
My knees are degenerative. They hurt a lot. But I mean, kind of because of that, I'm not able to throw as far as I did before, and that's just kind of part of it. So yes, I could have much better form. I'll be the first to tell you that. Danny might be the second because we've talked about it. But we I don't think I could get to throwing 550 consistently with my physical makeup, with my knees the way that they are. And I think that's the same way for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Interesting. So we finished with the Amateur Match Play Championships, and that was an awesome event, people coming out here. But we still have the Doubles Match Play Championship. There's still time to play brackets. I don't know. Let's see where.
There's still time to run brackets, correct?
I believe, there's still time to run brackets.
Run brackets.
Doubles liquefy. There's 24 in 20. There's 64 in 29 states. There's still time to run some, or if you're in your area, you can check to see if you can play in some. We have until, let's see, what day? You have until the end, I'm assuming the end of August. Local qualifying brackets go to August 2018. And then the championships is September 28th through 30th. So we just want to encourage you guys, if you really like the doubles or you like the bracket match play format, to check out the doubles. You can go to discgolfmatchplay.com and check that out because there's still time to get involved.
It's pretty cool.
Next question comes from James Shook.
What's up, Disc Golf Answer Man crew? My name is James. I'm a longtime listener, first-time caller. First of all, I want to say I love seeing all the Kalos that I sent you being put to use. I feel like I see them in almost every video, and that's awesome. So I'm stoked you guys are loving those. Now to my question is...
Well, first, before we start, I want to make sure we mention that, like Robert has one on. I have them in my bag. I have two of them that I like to wear. And basically, they're the silicone rings that people tend to wear. They like to wear because of the way they feel, maybe because of the way they look. My understanding, though, is that if you go to the gym or you're out playing disc golf and you don't want to wear your real wedding ring or your first wedding ring, for whatever reasons, you don't want to lose it or it's just uncomfortable because some people tend to when they...
Or if they're a lefty.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. If you're a lefty, yeah. Me, if I go out and it's hot and I do a lot of walking, my fingers tend to swell up a little bit, and I can really feel my ring. But a silicone ring isn't quite as noticeable being there.
Right.
So a lot of people like to wear that so they don't bang it up against stuff. So James had sent us some Kalo rings in different sizes, and everybody in the office went crazy. I sent out a message on our little message thing, and everybody swarmed around the boxes and grabbed a couple, and it's been really cool.
I know Denise had one that she wore on her toe as a toe ring, and then went kayaking and lost it in the mud.
Yes.
But she did reach out, and he's taking care of her.
He's taking care of her because I know she really liked that on her toes.
Yeah. I know, too, one of the benefits of these is if you work with your hands, a lot of times the traditional wedding bands, if they get caught on something, they'll just take your finger off.
Oh.
Because the metal is so strong, especially for guys.
Didn't that happen to Jimmy Fallon?
It almost did. It messed his finger up super duper bad. So anyway, with these, if it gets caught on like a nail or something metal or something like that, it'll just rip, and then now you're out $20 instead of however much the wedding band was and a finger.
Or a finger.
Yes.
Yeah. So shout out to James and Kalo. That's to check it out. You can go to QALO.com. Kalo.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said, Kalo?
Kalo, yeah. My wife and I wear these pretty much all the time. So, but rest of the question.
So now to James' question.
Would Dynamic Discs ever put recorded coverage under a paywall? So, for instance, you charge $5 for media coverage, let's say, per user, and you now have access to whoever's doing the recorded coverage. And then that way you could split the cost of what you make between you guys and whoever's doing the recorded coverage. What are your thoughts on that?
My initial thoughts are that it's going to be hard to do because there's so much free stuff out there. I go back to my experience with Disc Golf Media. When I first started, DVDs were the thing. And the big one was Clash.
The Clash.
What did they call it? They were called.
It was just Clash.
Was it just Clash?
And then it was Clash.
I have a bunch of those actually.
Oh yeah, Clash app. So I have a few of those at home.
He participated in a couple of those.
Yeah, I have one of those. Yeah.
Billy Crump produced those and filmed those, and those were the big thing. And so I would start following Dynamic Disc and go to their tournaments, and I would do lead round coverage, and I would produce DVDs. And I think I had 4 or 5 of them. And at first they did really well, but then what started happening is all of a sudden people started putting their stuff on YouTube for free.
Yeah, $0.
$0. So that really affected me. And so then I started charging. I used to put them up onto a paywall type thing where it was a video service where you could charge whatever you wanted, and they take a percentage, you get a percentage. And I would charge like $1.99, or I would charge 99 cents, and that worked for a little bit. And then the free YouTube stuff really started getting big time, and you couldn't do it anymore. You couldn't do pay. So that would be my only thing. Now, of course, now you have Patreon where people like Jomez and Central Coast and Terry Miller, they put the coverage out there for free,
They say if you want to support us.
But if you want to support us, you can, and we'll give you some stuff that only you are able to see, or you can see stuff earlier.
Mm-hmm.
What's that fan noise?
I think that's just the air conditioning right here.
Wow, I've never noticed it before. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt it with that fan noise, but so I don't see it ever reverting back to a tournament coverage with a paywall.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there are a lot of places going to something like that. You know, Netflix is like that, Hulu's like that. ESPN Plus is going to be like that now. I think it's like $5 a month or something. So I think we'll see a bit of a resurgence of that. But just like you said, as long as we have as quality of coverage as we have now for free, it's really hard to get behind it.
Right, and I know. I mean, yes, ESPN is putting out something where they're going to have something on the internet where you can watch it, or a mobile app or whatever. But the thing is, they make money. You may say, "Well, I get to watch it for free on TV." Well, no, you don't. You pay cable, and you have to watch commercials, and that pays for that type coverage. So, yeah, I don't know that it would work.
Probably not.
Next one comes from Timothy. Timothy.
How's it going, DGAM fam? This is Timothy Allen-Alenko again, a.k.a. the only guy that throws Trilogy in Southern California. At least it feels that way. Anyway, today I've got a question regarding not getting the distance I want out of my mid-ranges. So over the last few months, I've really been focusing on driving off the tee more with putters. 350 and in, nice wide open shot. I'm throwing judges or harps, and it's been really awesome for my game. I've been a whole lot more consistent. But at the same time, I've noticed that I don't really reach for my mid-ranges hardly at all anymore, mainly because I'm not really getting any more distance out of my mids than I am with my putters. And I'm not really sure why this is happening. I don't think nose up is the issue. I feel like my release angles are pretty consistent. But I'd just love to hear your input on why you think this is happening. And also, if you guys have experienced anything similar in your own game's progression, maybe a period where you weren't getting any farther with your mids than you were with your putters, and how you remedied that or where that trail took you. Love to hear your responses and enjoy the rest of the podcast. Keep it real.
No need to whisper. We'll just keep it real.
We'll just do that.
Why don't you start us off, Eric?
Well, 350 and in is pretty much a mash on putters, at least.
I don't have 350 on a putter.
Downhill maybe, but
tailwind.
But I guess it kind of depends on what kind of putters you're throwing too. And did he say he's having an issue turning them over a lot too?
I don't remember that.
Because I'm wondering if that's part of it. I mean, I know if you go out and work really, really hard on just throwing putters all the time, you typically have to throw a putter a little bit harder on a different type of angle than you do a mid-range, so it's going to have different results. So, one great suggestion would be just go out to a field, and it's kind of like anything. You want to work on something, you need to work on it.
Right.
Go out into a field with your mids and just kind of continuously throwing the same mold is what I would recommend. Something neutral that you can put a little pop on and kind of get results out of it that way, just to kind of see your results, so you can see your progress.
Yeah, I agree.
So
yeah, I think too there's something to working on something a lot so that you get good at it. Usually that means that you're going to lose a bit in another area. Yep. Like for me, when I'm working on my backhand angles a lot, I'll find that my forehand suffers because I haven't been working so much on it. And I think the same thing goes for discs. Like if there's a new disc that I really love in my bag, I'm going to throw it all the time, but then other discs suffer because I don't feel as familiar with them, as comfortable with them. So I'm in total agreement with you. I think it's just go out to the field, practice those mid-ranges until you feel comfortable with them again, and I think you'll start to see a little bit more of that distance come back.
And it seems like you're either kind of a putter thrower or you're a mid-range thrower, for the most part. There's not really a lot of both.
Right. Like I'm more of a putter thrower. You're more of a mid-range thrower. Yep.
All right, next one comes from Jezer. I think that's how you pronounce it.
What's up, the GAM fam? It's Jezer. Question. Have you guys ever had to change up your plans in the middle of a round? Last month I was playing at the Live Oak Summer Open in San Antonio, and
I've played there.
In the middle of the 27-hole round, I ended up having my calves cramp up on me on a left-hand backhand drive.
Ouch.
After that hole, I was thinking to myself, I might have to DNF if I can't, if I can't figure something out. So, I mean, I know I was keeping myself hydrated, but I don't think I had enough potassium that day. But the next day, I brought some more bananas. Anyways, after that hole, I ended up just thinking to myself, hey, I know with my forehand, I doesn't really require a lot of my lower body to get the disc to go, and rely a little bit more on my upper body. So I ended up after hole 15, I ended up just doing the rest of the round with my left hand forehand, which I think turned out pretty good considering that most of the holes I was playing on were right-handed friendly, and I think it just totally helped me with refining my forehand. So just let me.
There it is.
There it is. Just let.
He must have cramped up.
More bananas. More bananas.
This actually has happened to me during a round. I don't know if you were there that year or not at the Memorial. Probably not. I think this might have been pre-Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
Okay.
I know we had the RV out there, so that's why I thought maybe you were there. But I don't know. You might have been there. But I remember I was on a card with Devin Owens and Feldberg and I think Bobby Music maybe. And it was at Vista, and I felt a cramp in my calf, starting to kind of cramp up a little. So I was trying to drink as much water as possible, and I remember thinking, it'll be fine, I can get through this. And then I remember throwing a roller shot on that one hole at Vista that everybody throws a roller. The hole before the one I eagled.
Yeah, right.
The hole before that, I threw a roller on it, and I remember hitting the ground. Yep. Because my calf literally balled up, and it was like, ouch. I couldn't walk.
Sucks.
And I remember Regina was there that year, and she worked it out, and it was the most painful experience I've ever had in my life. But I remember that round, and I remember having to absolutely change everything, like slow everything down. And my game plan went from being super aggressive and trying to get all these birdies to keep it in the middle.
Yeah, just get pars, please.
Pars are fine, just try to avoid anything bad. And I ended up playing well the rest of the round. And it's funny how your mind can focus and switch like that from super aggressive golf to, man, I just need to lay up and play smart, and how much easier it was for that. But, as far as things to do, I mean, it's really just about, being hydrated and bananas, like you said, and all that fun stuff.
Keep those bananas rolling.
Keep them.
Yeah.
Keep them in your bag.
For sure.
Chiquita.
That's one of your new sponsors.
Yeah, exactly. So
excellent. First one, or next one, first one.
No.
Where you at, dude?
The next one comes from James Bateman.
James? Okay.
Which I think is a typo, because the other question is from James Bateman.
Bateman?
And the same.
Nice.
Jason?
Email
is he
address.
Jason's brother?
He could be. Let's see.
Is this regarding Arrested Development?
It could be.
Or any of the really cool movies he's in.
Yes.
Hi, this is James from Cincinnati, and I have a question for all of you. Lately, I have been trying to incorporate a run-up into my throw. Sometime last season, more towards the beginning of it, I decided to really work on my form and just play standstill for the remaining part of last season. And this season, starting, I am throwing my fairways about 350 to 375 from a standstill off the tee, and that's on a golf line, not just as hard as I can. But as soon as I try to incorporate my run-up, it starts going to the right almost immediately, and it's just uncontrollable with a run-up. I'm going as slow as possible, and my reach back seems to be the same as when I go from a standstill, but I can't really narrow down what I'm doing incorrect. A little about me. I'm about 6 foot tall, but I do have the wingspan of somebody that is about 6'4", 6'5". So I do kind of have awkwardly long arms. So if any of you have any tips for somebody who is just starting to incorporate the run-up, I would highly appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, when you describe your frame, it sounds a lot like my frame. About 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
6'4" wingspan.
Exactly. My knuckles drag the ground when I walk.
That's right. What a good problem to have.
I'm guessing disc selection could be partial.
Maybe
a little bit of that.
Yeah, maybe so. But it might also, it might just be that now that you're doing a run up, you're getting the disc out a little bit faster, maybe accelerating a little bit more. But I think, man, it's hard to see without watching you throw. You might go to the Disc Golf Answerman page and post a video so that we can check that out. But without watching you throw, it's hard to tell exactly what it is. I think even with a slow run up, it may be that you're thinking, all right, now I'm doing a run up, now I should be throwing harder. So now you're trying to throw harder. Mm-hmm. And instead, you should be taking the same basics of that standstill and just incorporating really one step into it first. Right. I wouldn't even do a full run-up first. I would just do one step, hit, and just practice that way until that feels comfortable when you've got your releases looking good. So I would send in a video, honestly. That'd be the best way for us to check it out. Definitely.
Excellent. Next question comes from, we'll come back to James. We'll give somebody else a chance. This is from Mike Strout.
Hey guys, this is Mike Strout from Tyler, Texas, home of the Dynamic Discs Piney Woods Open coming to our town this October. I'm an avid disc golfer and course designer and builder, and I love holes and courses that have lots of water features. The problem is that most people, me included, hate to lose discs in water. What would you think about petitioning the PDGA to allow something that could be added to any disc that would allow it to float? For example, a thin piece of closed-cell foam applied to the bottom plate or the inside edge of a disc would add almost no weight, and if done right, wouldn't affect the flight of the disc at all. If this was legal, I think course designers would start making better use and more use of water on courses, and people would probably play those courses more often because they wouldn't fear losing their favorite discs. Let me know what you think.
Huh. I don't know how that wouldn't affect the flight of the disc. Adding something to it after production. And I guess being here in Emporia, being a course designer as well, all of our holes around the water are well designed, and you can absolutely lose a disc on each one of those holes with an errant shot. But
right.
I don't see too many people not playing it because of that. Maybe beginners, I could see going and playing the short tee or something like that. But I don't know. That's interesting.
I've never seen it done, so it's hard to tell whether it would affect it or not. For the time being, I mean, I think it's worth checking out. I would want to see what an example could be because, if it could float, great. I mean, I've lost many a disc to the water, ones that I really liked, and I would love to have those back.
Yeah.
So I would want to see how it would be carried out, practically instead of just as a dream,
Yeah, I would assume it would affect something.
Probably, but
I mean,
who knows? I don't design discs, nor do I know about the polymer that you were talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting. Next one comes from Yuho.
Hello, DGAM crew. Bobby Slick Daddy, Cool Breeze.
Nailed it.
Eric E. McCabe, Robert the Gorgeous McCall, and Danny the Yellowhorn.
The Yellowhorn?
This is Juho from Kuopio, Finland, and thanks for coming by the way. I got a question for you guys about rounding. I just started to feel myself to remove bad habits and began wondering if I have rounding in my form. It looks like I pull rather straight and have pretty consistent release on the disc, but at the end of my throw, the disc leaves my hand to a slightly different direction when comparing to the pull. I watched some pros throw, and I think they had something similar. Is this something to worry about or not? Anyway, keep up the good work, guys. I love your show.
Thank you.
What do you think?
I think rounding is an issue.
Yes.
It's absolutely an issue. I don't know if you have it. I mean, you did mention that you had done some recording of yourself. Like Robert had mentioned earlier, it couldn't hurt posting on our Facebook page. That way we can kind of have a better understanding and be able to actually see it and visualize it and see if you actually are rounding or if it's just something else that could be a potential issue. But if you said you don't have any issues with release angles or your form feels good, So it's hard to say what it is, honestly.
Yeah, without being able to see it, I agree with you. I would say, and I, as somebody who is working on not rounding as much, I'll find that I miss angles more often when I feel my shoulders leading the throw first instead of really my arm and elbow leading the throw. It's possible to get reasonably consistent while you're rounding, but that doesn't make it good, right? So I do think it's worth working on. If you know your issue, definitely work on getting that elbow out first, getting your arm out first, and creating those angles instead of making the disc kind of drag behind you and letting your shoulders lead.
True.
Yeah.
Excellent. We have a couple of, if you like to play here in Emporia, we actually have a couple of events coming up.
Yeah.
I was hoping to find my notes, but until then, do you guys remember? Dynamic Disc Open.
Dynamic Discs Open.
DD Open, that's in October
13th.
And then we're doing the Country Club Classic.
Yes.
That's middle of September. I think it's the 14th, 15th. Yeah, that's right. 14th, 15th of September.
So if you guys have ever seen courses on videos and you thought, I'd like to come try out those courses, perfect opportunity to play in a sanctioned event, to come play the Dynamic Disc Open. What courses that's
East and West, right? East and West.
So the two Jones courses.
And actually, if you want to come the day before, Radius is hosting an event called the Radius Open at Peter Pan.
Is it the day before or the day after?
It's the day before, I believe. Right? Because we're
it's
on
the
Sunday.
Same weekend.
It's the same weekend. We're on Sunday. They're on Saturday.
So Radius and then DD Open.
I think that's how it's. I think so. Robert will confirm here in a
Do we know what
minutes.
Course Radius is playing? Did you say that?
Pan.
Okay, Peter Pan.
So it'll be a limited field. It'll probably only be 90 on a cart, 90 on a field. So it'll be a little bit more limited, but still worth the trip.
And then the Country Club, if you've ever wanted to play the Country Club, you can come play the Country Club Classic. And that'll be, did they decide 2 rounds or 2 days?
It's
or 3
2
days?
rounds, 2 days, 1 round a day with tea times.
Yeah, so that'll be a good.
That'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Radius Open is Saturday.
And then DD Open is Sunday.
Yep.
All right, there you go. So if you ever thought about coming to play here in Emporia, make plans to come out there. Of course, we'll have more information out on the Dynamic Discs event tab on the dynamicdisc.com website.
Yes.
Yeah. Next question comes from, let's go back to James.
Yep.
And I have a question for you.
There we go.
I think I am going to come to Emporia and play all the great courses that you guys have there for my bachelor party with a couple of friends.
Nice.
My question for you is, what courses are must play? Obviously, the Jones courses, and then is the Emporia Country Club open to the public for a fee, or is that just for the DD family over there? And then also, what's the best hotel in Emporia? And then is there anything else besides disc golf that you guys would recommend in the area? Thank you very much, and keep it real.
What is the best hotel in Emporia?
I don't know. I think Avaste's really stepped up their game here lately.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty
bunch
good
of people
spot. They have a
there.
nice pool
Yep.
that you can swim in, and a lot of disc golfers stay there, and it's right down the road from Jones Park. Not that anything isn't right down the road from Jones Park.
Yeah, most things are pretty close to Jones Park.
But the courses I'd recommend, Jones East, obviously, and if you guys have the opportunity, Jones Gold. It's a layout that you can find on the Emporia Disc Golf page on Facebook. Peter Pan is a must to play. The Country Club is open to the public. It depends on what day it is. You can actually go to the Country Club's website, and under the disc golf tab, it'll tell you all the information. When they're open, their fees, I believe it's $10 a round, and then you can actually rent a cart as well for $10.
Which is awesome.
Really awesome. So those are ones I'd recommend. I actually have a couple more that I'd recommend if it's more of a bachelor party type thing, and you guys are looking for places to stay. Clovercliff comes to ranch. It's a bed and breakfast. It's located, about half hour, maybe 40 minutes straight west of Emporia. And they have cabins out there that you can stay in. They have an awesome 18-hole disc golf course in the middle of the Flint Hills. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Elevation like we don't really have at other places in town.
Yep.
It's really
some
cool.
Great elevation, some distance, and some shorter, fun, more technical holes. It's an awesome course. It really, and the Harshmans out there are just fabulous people.
Yeah,
super nice. And so yeah, that's kind of a couple options. Chase Disc Golf Course is another one that's just right down the road from Clovercliff. That'd be a great one to go to as well.
100%.
Cool. Any questions out on YouTube that might make good questions on the show as we take a little break from the speak pipe?
No, we're just talking a little bit about rounding. Danny's answering a couple of questions on there, so not a whole bunch of that. Will asks, is the whole DGAM crew going to be in Emporia when the next Gen Premier event is being held at the beginning of September? That's September 1st and 2nd, and I think Scott Reek is running.
He
is running that. So
first weekend in no, sorry, I will not
September
be there. That is Pro Worlds time, pretty much.
Yep.
It's like the week before Pro World, this Sunday before, but so I won't be here in town for that. And I'm assuming
I'll have to check, but I don't think we'll be here either.
Yeah. Hard to say. I mean, Worlds doesn't start till that Tuesday, but I'll be up there practicing since I'm actually playing.
Yeah, but we got the wedding to go to, don't we?
Yeah.
You guys do,
I see it now. No, we won't be here because, we'll be doing. I'm actually going to perform Eric Oakley and Tina Stenitis' wedding on Nantucket Island, and then I think Rusko and I are going to play in the Nantucket tournament.
Yeah, and I'm going to not get to play.
Why?
Because they were doing the
AMS play on Sunday.
Right. And nobody wants to stay for the AMS.
Why don't you play pro then? Why don't you step up your game there, Cool Daddy?
I think it's too late now.
It is too late now.
Never too late for Cool Daddy.
So when you perform the wedding, Robert, is that a script? Are you going to read it? Or
I'll write everything out, yeah. Now, I won't read it word for word. I'll be really familiar with it. But the
right, but are you following the traditional?
Oh, no, I kind of do what I want to.
Are you going to do the,
really?
If anybody has any reason?
I will not ask for any objections.
Oh, man.
I want to be there and say, are you kidding?
I bet you Melton would say, if he's there, he'll say
hey,
something.
Wait. Or he'd just say,
hey,
what?
Peter. Oh, yeah, what?
No, I mean, I'll ask all, like, the standard stuff that you're supposed to ask, but we'll just do it in a way that I think is more, like, I don't know, meaningful rather than just, like, routine.
Right. Are you going to have, like, a long message at all? Or?
I bet from when I start talking to when we finish would be no longer than 12 minutes.
To all the way to You May Now Kiss the Bride?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think, well, maybe 15, because everyone there will know them, so they're cool hearing their story and everything like that.
I guess, are they doing their own vows, or is that something that you want to wait
I don't know.
on?
We haven't talked about it yet.
Okay.
So
I didn't know if it was something like
we'll
that
see.
or not. If
but
it's
I'll
be
send
a quick
them,
wedding or lengthy or
no. Like I said, no longer than 15. I don't think.
Yeah.
And I'll send him a questionnaire that, like, my dad's done definitely over 100 weddings.
Really?
He's done so many weddings, and so he sends a questionnaire to everyone that he does weddings for, just to kind of get a sense of their story and
That's cool.
where they're coming from and stuff. And so it makes weddings a lot more personal rather than just do you person take this person. I think it's really good. So
to have and to hold.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'll do some of that. I'll do some of that, and it's Eric and Tina.
It's gonna be you pretty soon, Eric.
Through OB.
That's gonna be you.
Safeness.
That's gonna be you.
Yeah, through ACES and OB.
Are you gonna
at the courthouse? That's right.
Are you guys just doing it at the courthouse?
I don't know what we're doing. We haven't even really
Denise
talked
hasn't
about
said anything like.
No,
I can't see Denise wanting a big.
No, she doesn't want.
Yeah.
She doesn't want a big wedding, but she does want like a cool outdoor somewhere fun, like Colorado, possibly.
She probably wants a bunch of birds.
Yeah, like dove. Yeah. Maybe not doves. Maybe like
moths.
Owls. What kind of? Yeah, owls probably. Yeah. Screech owls. Ralph's, Mavericks.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, because me and Sue, we basically drove. I think it was 3 hours to Miami, Oklahoma, because you could do the blood test, the judge, and the ceremony all within a block.
Nice.
So
pretty sweet.
I always thought that was weird that Oklahoma still does blood tests.
Is that the only state that does? Because I don't think
if there is any other state, I don't think there's very many.
Wait, to get married?
Yeah, I used to have to. I remember that as a kid.
Really?
I remember hearing you have to give blood tests to get married.
Huh? No.
In Oklahoma or Kansas?
No, just in general.
Oh,
just to make sure you're not brother and sister.
I don't know. I don't know. I think they check for like STDs.
I know, obviously, but just poking.
I'm assuming. So, but in Miami, they had a way, because normally you would have to take the blood test and wait 10 days.
Miami, Oklahoma.
But Miami, Oklahoma, they do it. You can do it right there, and you watch it spin. And I remember asking.
No whammies.
I remember asking the guy, but I can't remember what he said as far as.
Interesting. Yeah, you didn't know that. You used to.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah, you used to have to do blood work.
Do you? Okay, so were you joking when you said you think it's checking for STDs?
No, I think it was.
That's. Like so strange sounding.
I think it was, or it was checking for something. Somebody Google it or something.
Siblings.
But it was checking for something to.
I assume relation would be a good one. Yeah. If they're doing DNA testing,
right?
But it's not a. I mean,
Bobby Brown, you are Not
why blood tests for marriage?
You're not the father of the person you're going to marry.
Dude, you're right.
What?
Premarital blood tests check for venereal disease or rubella. The test may also disclose the presence of genetic disorders such as sickle cell anemia or Tay Sachs
Search
disease.
to see what states still do it.
I think it's in order to prevent.
It says most do not. What states do you need? Okay. District of Columbia?
Okay.
Yes. 47 more rows. Well, there's a lot more. But anyway, yeah.
Florida?
No. Those were saying that they don't.
Ah.
Okay, here we go. DC, yes. Mississippi, yes. Montana, yes, but only if you're a female. Sorry.
What about Massachusetts? Because that's where they get married.
No on Massachusetts.
Okay. What about Colorado?
Colorado is also a no.
Okay. So what's a yes?
Just those.
Just Mississippi.
Montana, Mississippi, and District of Columbia.
Oklahoma, not?
Nope.
Cool.
There you go.
There you go.
Anyway, that was a really interesting bit of the show. I didn't know it was going to happen.
I guarantee it, people were hanging on the edge of their seats.
Right.
All right.
Maybe people didn't get married back in the day because they were afraid of needles.
Maybe so. And that's it. We're just going to be, what do they call it?
Wedlock?
No. I don't think that's it. When you've lived together for so long.
What is that called?
It's like what Matt and Taylor were because they'd lived together for so long. Common law marriage. Yeah, that's
I'm pretty sure Denise and I are at that already.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Way past that.
Yeah.
And you know,
thank you, Danny.
If you're in a common law marriage, you have to get a divorce.
Dude, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
If you split.
Yep.
Wow.
It's because you've mingled a lot of your finances and a lot of your decision making, and now there needs to be something legally that says this is yours, that's not yours, and you get to see the kid or you don't get to see the kid type thing. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, I never wanted to force any of my daughters into marriage, but there were times when it was like, if he's going to live with you, you need to have something so that he can't just
up and leave.
Up and leave.
And take everything.
And take everything. So
this gentleman says common law answer man.
Huh?
Remember when the show used to be about answering disc golf questions?
Yeah, right. No, that was
actually,
when it was just
that's a legit
like 11 minutes ago.
That's a legit complaint now.
Yeah. No.
I didn't bring this up. No, I didn't bring this up.
We start talking about
you said blood
I
test.
did. No, I said what were your vows. And then I did bring up the blood test because I
brought up Yeah. Anyway,
somebody on the board wants to, or Scott Douglas says, ask Robert about the Dixon, Illinois course, but I don't know anything about it. Ask
Robert about it.
Ask Eric about the Dixon, Illinois course.
It is a fun little 9-hole course that's going in Dixon, Illinois. They just kind of wanted to. They don't have any disc golf in that area. There's a small town just to the west of there that has quite a few courses, and Dixon has a lot of property that they can use for courses, and they just kind of wanted to put a 9-holer in first to kind of test the waters and see what it's like, and then potentially put in a bigger championship-style 18. But the course is designed. It's going to be pretty short, but a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool big mature trees down in the area that it's going into, and a couple little tight tunnel shots, and this is the place that has the bald eagles.
Nice.
That are nesting there. So I had to avoid that area at all costs, which kind of sucked because that was a really cool area over there. But yeah, there's a couple mom and pop and a bunch of little babies, and I saw the coolest thing when I was there. I saw a bald eagle swoop down, grab a rabbit, and take it up to feed the
dude.
Little chicks.
Sorry about your rabbit.
It was so cool.
I bet
it was so cool. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun course.
Nature, man.
And I believe that their baskets will be sent to them here in the next couple weeks. So I'm guessing sometime in August you'll be playing disc golf in Dixon, Illinois.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
Let's take one more question before we end this episode. This one's from One Eye.
What up, One Eye? Left eye?
It just says One Eye. Could be
Lisa Left Eye
could
Lopez.
be either eye.
Nailed it.
What's up, Bobby Slick, Daddy Cool Breeze, Robert? You're running out of time.
Okay, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
I know that people mess up my name all the time. Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, Bobby Slick Daddy Cool, Daddy Breeze, Daddy. But to mess up the part that you
say
accentuate,
yeah,
Slick, dude, One Eye. I'm about to poke out that one eye.
Are you deleting this comment?
You better have no eyes.
Yeah, you about to have no eyes.
No eyes.
But thanks for listening to the show, and we appreciate your support.
It.
No,
Thank
seriously,
you so
though. Thank you.
All right, here we go.
McCall and Eric, maybe he's in the studio. McCabe.
No, he's here.
It's your buddy One Eye John from Wichita Falls. First off, Got to say, came to Emporia the week after GBO. Got to play a round of golf with Robert Jowers and Dixon McCall. In true Emporia fashion, we finished Jones East.
Does this guy know anything about names? I don't understand the Robert Jowers.
We played together.
Robert Jowers, Dixon McCall.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mason Dixon line, you know what I'm saying?
We appreciate you listening to the show. Thanks for all your support.
In a monsoon. It was legit. Can't forget Taco was on the card too. Love that dude. Anyway, first question is on style. I wear all Nike when I play, other than either my DD pullover or local club shirt or whatnot, which is Nike as well. Where are the Nike non-team shirts for guys that want to wear all Nike? I see you guys wearing the team Nike stuff. I understand that. But is there any chance we could see some non-team Nike stuff? I've got some personal stuff I've got ordered that I have made custom. I'll shoot you some pictures of those, see what y'all think. Second question is on post-production.
I'm pretty sure we had Nike shirts. We've handful of them in the past.
Mm-hmm. We've had a few before. Most of what we're doing right now isn't with a specific manufacturer like that, unless it's Ogio. And Ogio stuff is just left over now because they don't do apparel anymore.
Sanmar does it all.
Right. So will that happen again in the future? Possibly. Is it like a number one top priority? I don't think so. I'm not the apparel person, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah. We did have Nikes for a while. I have one.
Some of the reasons that I like stuff like that is that you get to pick whatever color you want and everything, and it can be bolder colors. That's really cool. But for most of the stuff that we keep in the retail store, we want something with a little bit more mass appeal. That's why we don't have as much like flashy stuff or like super duper bright colors, because some people might like that, but a lot of people will like grays and blacks and olives and blues and stuff.
Purples.
Purpers.
Purr.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, if we're going to keep it real.
Keep it real.
You that's what you do on this show, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze.
So, we had the Nike shirts, but I think, and we had some Cutter and Buck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cutter and Buck?
Yep, Cutter and Buck.
And they seemed to do really well, but people just weren't willing to pay the price for some of those.
That is a big part of it.
And it's hard to get a big shipment in.
Right. And we aren't at a place where we can order huge bulks where we can reduce the price to make it, more of an, I don't want to say affordable because it depends on where you're at, but more of a price point that more people would buy.
Yeah. Right.
And most of the team guys that you see out there wearing their Nikes and their Adidas and Travis Matthew and all that stuff, that's their shirts.
Right.
They personally had stamps.
Right. So all of mine are shirts that I bought either at an outlet or just a Nike store and then brought in. So if you want to do that, I know that screen printers a lot of times will just make you a quick screen. Mm-hmm. You send over some shirts and that's the most professional, like surefire way to do it.
However, I do not condone what Robert is suggesting, and that is using our logo to put on.
Not the team logo. We have just regular like.
Are you trying to get people to copyright our stuff?
We have those on the website, though.
Just
right?
don't sell.
Do we not?
That doesn't mean you can put it on anything you want to put it on.
Then never mind. I stand corrected.
Trying to put us out of business?
I do not condone what I was saying either. I feel like people had done that.
I'm sure they have.
My bad.
I
will not have a job next week.
I know. I'm gonna have to talk to Jeremy about things that Robert allows people to do.
Okay.
Robert Jowers.
Yep.
Dixon
McCall. He had a second question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go.
Wait a minute.
There's been a lot of flack given recently, I've seen, because of either CCDG's video, Jomez's commentary, this and that. To me, post-production is what it says, post-production, after the fact. These guys have either just got done playing around and are doing commentary or about to go play around doing commentary out of the goodness of their hearts. So I enjoy the comedy. I enjoy the, however you say, the different styles that you see from the different commentary teams. To me, I think that gives more to the game than having a 100% professional atmosphere like Dixon Jowers does. Not discounting that. I absolutely love Dixon Jowers live feeds, but I think post-production, they should give them a little bit of a break. What do you guys think?
Who needs the break?
I think some people, I think what he's saying,
talking about criticism of them?
I think what he's saying is that in post-production, some people give, like, an example is Nate and Germ, a hard time about not being super professional all the time because they kind of joke around and stuff like that.
I have seen that sentiment.
And I think that's one of the big. That's funny.
What's funny?
Sean on the board said the views expressed by Robert are not endorsed or condoned by Dynamic.
That's for sure.
It's a new disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
Sick. That post-produced and live are entirely different, and I don't know. I like having a little bit of humor along with it, especially with people that a lot of listeners know. But I like having the professionalism on a live broadcast. I like being able to joke around a little bit, but you don't want it to just be joke after joke after joke because you've got a captive audience.
There's time to be funny and time to be serious.
Right.
Yeah.
And there needs to be a good balance of that.
I mean,
I think honestly, the Joe Mess stuff. Sorry, I think that they do kind of have that because it seems like Sexton is more of the business guy, and then Germ is more of the class clown.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, for the most part.
I mean, that's
I agree.
kind of the feel I get from. That's why it works for those two.
Definitely, and that's how Sexton's voice sounds. Now, Sexton's a funny guy.
Yeah,
for
he's
sure.
great. Yeah,
and a lot of the things that he says that are funny are just super duper dry.
Oh yeah,
which I think is hilarious because that's kind of how I am as well. But I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind having some humor in there. In fact, I enjoy it. I think when you try to force it, try too hard for it, that's when I'm not as big a fan. Yep. It just kind of needs to happen organically.
And I think it just comes down to, I mean, some people like what's his name, Jim Buck. Joe Buck.
Nobody likes Joe Buck. Don't lie.
I've seen some people that defend him.
There are literally 0 people on the face of the earth that say Joe Buck is my favorite commentator.
Joe Buck's mother. That's about it.
Even her, though.
How would he,
I'm just kidding.
have a job, though?
Because he owns
I'm joking.
Fox.
Because he owns Fox. So my point is
no, you're
that
right. It's just different strokes,
it's
really.
Just,
You're
different
right.
strokes for different folks. Yeah. Different strokes. We got different strokes
to rule the world.
Nailed it, dude.
Nailed it. You like that?
I used to watch that show religiously.
Oh, God. That was one of my favorite shows. I used to wait.
What you talking about, Willis?
Wait until that, what you talking about, Willis line. I was like, somebody feed it to him. Somebody give him
Come on, hit him with it.
Somebody give him. I want to know what he's talking about.
I want to know exactly what Willis is talking about.
But what if it's what he was talking about?
All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. We are back from Sweden and Finland. So good to be back from the Europe tour and to be back here on Disc Golf Answer Man.
I have a thing.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about this, but so this shirt that I'm wearing is from UDisc, and we saw and
I have one of those.
Yeah, we met up with Josh from UDisc while we were in Finland, and they ran the live scoring and everything for the Dooney. Yes, and
I don't know why I thought that when Rusko said it this morning in the meeting.
Oh, right.
Dooney. But they're killing it. Like, this is not a paid advertisement for UDisc. They are absolutely killing the game. Their live scoring there was fantastic. And then we saw, and okay, disclaimer, this is my opinion. It's not even these guys' opinion necessarily. But Disc Golf Metrics is another system that they use over in Europe, and it was really, really cool. Like,
I liked it.
Live scoring on the website. I thought it looked really cool. But for me, I think a lot more people will like the user interface of UDisc for live scoring and things and stats and stuff. So just huge shout out to the UDisc guys. They're doing big stuff. If you haven't talked to them about like your event or the possibility of bringing them out to do live scoring, I think it adds a whole extra level of professionalism to the event.
And if you haven't downloaded their new app, do it because
UDisc Pro.
The new things that they have on there, like I was playing the other day and I had it up and I didn't even realize that they have some courses, not all the courses, but majority of the courses have maps and GPS on it, so it'll tell you how far away from the basket you are.
Super cool.
And like if you're lost on the course, it'll kind of tell you which way to go. I mean, it's amazing.
Has an interactive map. Yeah, I mean,
props to you guys for that. That's when I'm traveling. That's what I use when I'm like, all right, let's see how far away from a course I am right now.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool.
And those guys, it's like they can't make changes. Like you have a question about something on the app and you email them. It's like they almost make the change before they respond to you. It's just like they're just on top of it. And so, kudos, Josh and Matt. You guys are killing it. Well done.
Solid work.
Cool. All right. Is that it? That's all we got, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're finally back for a little while.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in, sending your questions.
You're gone next week?
I'll be here next week. But
okay,
I'll be gone
the following. Yeah.
So we will see you next time on the audio.
Slick breeze.
Slick breeze. Whoa. All right, so we're still live.
Still live.
Are we still live, though?
Yes, we are still live. I just wanted to make sure. Everybody good to go on the YouTubes watching?
The YouTubes.
And you got any questions on the YouTubes?
Some person says a disclaimer? So this is fair.
We used to have a disclaimer. Maybe we need to play it.
The Stiletto used to have a disclaimer.
Robert starts talking.
Do you remember that?
Just kidding.
Do you remember that?
Which one?
The Stiletto used to have a disclaimer.
What was the disclaimer?
It used to write not meant for children or something like that.
Some person here, it's a fantastic name, says the best two-man crews, he's talking about commentary, the best two-man crews have a serious guy to bring back the off-the-wall guy.
Mm-hmm.
Sexton and Big Germ have good chemistry. You can tell they've been friends for a while. Definitely. And they've gotten better as time's gone on. Like, I went back and listened to, I think their first one together was Waco 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess it was last year, but not this most recent one. And they did a good job. But you can tell the difference between that and some of the more recent tournaments. They're just really comfortable with one another. They have great insight, but then they're also they have good chemistry together. They're funny to listen to for me. I like both those guys. As far as questions on the board go, we don't have many others.
Nope. All right. Well, thank you guys so much on the YouTubes for tuning in. We're gonna sign out here on live
for tuning in.
Nailed it. All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
I forgot to do the countdown, so we are still live.
Okay.
But I will turn the audio off.